Hello there, and I hope you are doing well. This is a quick guide showing you how to complete the Warlord's ruined dungeon along with the locations of the hidden chests. Timestamps are in the description below. Once you spawn in, follow the flags along the cliff edge until you get to this large rock, then follow them up to the top of it. Once there, jump onto the ledges by the cliff and follow it around to the left. Now there are 2 hidden chests within the dungeon. However, the first one can spawn in 6 different locations between the starting area and just before the boss area. The first location will be here. All 6 of the locations will contain a chest, but only one will be the correct one, whilst the remaining 5 will be traps. You can tell if they are traps by looking at them and seeing if they are blue, or opening them up and finding out the hard way. From here, rotate around the corner, making your way to this bridge. Clear out the ads and head into the castle, up the stairs and into the first encounter. This encounter will introduce you to the main mechanic of a dungeon, which are the Scorn Lanterns that you need to activate in order to do damage against the boss. Start off by killing the ads around the arena and try to get as many of them as you can. The boss will begin to spawn some black lanterns on the ground, followed by a timer on the left side of your screen called Imminent Wish. Shortly after, it will teleport you into some cages hung around the arena. The only way to get out of the cages is to destroy the 3 taken eyes floating around your cage. If you don't kill all 3 quickly enough, you will die. You can also shoot your teammates' taken eyes to help them out. Once out of a cage, continue killing the ads, but stand inside of a radius of the Scorn Lanterns until the black ball in the middle of them disappears. You have to get out of a cage and activate the lanterns before the Imminent Wish timer hits 0. As long as you activate at least 1 Scorn Lantern, damage will start. However, the more of them you activate, the longer the damage phase lasts. Once the Imminent Wish timer runs out and you have activated at least 1 Scorn Lantern, you will get a new timer on the left side of your screen called Naeem's Wish Empowerment. That timer is how long you have to damage the boss before it regains its shield. If you activated 1 lantern, you will have 13 seconds, but if you activated 2 of them, you will have 18 seconds. Then it's just rinse and repeat until the boss is dead. From here, you will be teleported into some cages. To get out of here, you will need to rotate 6 dials located around the prison cells. Some of these dials will have to be rotated counterclockwise and others will have to rotate clockwise. Whoever is the fireteam leader will spawn in the first cell. When you spawn, look to your left into the other cell for a skeleton. There will be a white tally chart next to the skeleton and the number indicates how many of the dials need to turn in a specific direction. In this case we have 3 lines, but it can easily be any number. The skeleton also has 2 arms and only one of them will be complete. Whichever arm is complete is the direction the dials need to turn. In this case, the skeleton's right side arm is complete, so the dials need to turn right, so that means clockwise. If it was left, it will be counterclockwise. So 3 dials need to turn clockwise and the other 3 need to turn counterclockwise. If you are in a group, you will need to coordinate on who is shooting which ones. However, if you spawn in solo, then as you rotate the dials, the cells to your right will open up, allowing you to rotate to where your fireteam members would have been for easier angles. Once you have the dials rotating the correct way, there is a lever to the left of the first cage that needs to be shot to open the doors. Up next are the tunnels that you will need to navigate your way through. Within the tunnels will be the 2nd and 3rd locations for the first chest. Follow this route through the tunnels. Along some of the walls will be spikes, so either jump over them or slide underneath. There will also be holes in the ground containing spikes, so be careful of those. You can also walk along the wall opposite to the spikes to avoid triggering them. Follow the tunnel until you reach this broken wall. Jump through it to the other side and continue to walk through the tunnels until you find some stairs leading down. Once you make your way down these stairs, take a right and follow this tunnel to this rubble. Jump through over the top and at the end will be the 2nd location of the first chest. In our case, this chest was the correct one. Head on back to the stairs and this time go to the left of them. Follow this tunnel, take a right, then go left, then take a right into this side room for the 3rd location of the first chest. Even though we opened ours up, the fake ones are still going to be there. From this room, take a right on the way out and the next room will have a hole in the ceiling. Go through that into the other tunnels, exit that room, and to your left will be a hole in the hallway to jump down into. Make your way up through the broken floors until you are on the outside. Jump along the cliff edges and be careful as some of the sections of them will break away when you land on them. When you get to the bridge, there will be an ad in the middle, and once you kill it, you'll be swarmed by multiple enemies, so take your time and proceed up the bridge. At the end of a bridge, inside the room on the right side will be the 4th location for the first chest. If you face that room from the bridge, look to your left and follow that cliff line to this broken drain pipe. Go inside and follow it all the way until you reach some stairs that will lead you into the second encounter. Just like before, you'll need to use Scorn Lanterns dropped by some mini bosses to initiate the damage phase, but this time you'll need to light some pyres to protect you against a snowstorm whilst you fight the boss. So start off by destroying the blight in the middle to spawn in the boss. Then focus on clearing out some of the ads. For reference point, the top of the arena is the area behind the boss if you are standing by the rally flag facing him. Around the boss will be over a dozen taken eyes. You need to destroy them all, and once you do, 3 things will happen. You will get ad spawns and 2 buffs. On the far right and left sides of the arena, some mini Scorn bosses called Broken Knights will spawn in. At the same time, a snowstorm will begin that will give you a debuff called Biting Winds that will kill you when it reaches 10. It increases by 1 per second. You can get rid of this debuff by simply standing near the torches around the outer wall of the arena along the walkway near the rally flag. During this time, you need to kill the Broken Knight so they drop a Scorn Lantern. However, you can make them drop 2. Simply damage it and then wait for it to spawn 1. Once it does, kill it for the second one. Just like before, stand in the radius of a lantern and wait until it activates, but be careful of your Biting Winds buff. You can use the torches as much as you want to get rid of the buff. The second buff you will have will be the Imminent Wish buff, in which you will need to get as many lanterns as you can within 30 seconds. Once the Imminent Wish buff is up, some charges will spawn around the rally flag and the snowstorm will disappear. The number of charges that spawn depend on how many lanterns you activated. Now that you have a solar charges, you need to light up 4 pyres around the boss. Pick one up and go to any one of the pyres that you want, stand next to it and bank it. Once the solar charge is banked, go back to the rally flag area. Kill the ads, destroy the taken eyes, kill the Broken Knights and use the torches to survive a snowstorm. Then bank the solar charges, and once the final pyre is lit, it is damage. You have 4 damage phases in total, 1 at each pyre. However, once the final pyre is banked, all of the pyres will be activated. So if you are in a group, make sure everyone is around the pyre you plan on activating last. Otherwise, you may have a fire team member accidentally run past a second or third pyre and activate it early, causing you to lose out on a damage phase. The best strategy is to get at least 3 charges in the first set, then activate 3 of the pyres and leave the bottom left for last. Then once you're ready, gather around it, activate it and damage the boss. Once the boss slams the pyre, rotate clockwise to the next one and use that for damage. Then it's just rinse and repeat, but make sure you are using 1 pyre at a time so that you can maximize the amount of time you have for damage. Each pyre will grant you Naeem's Wish Empowerment that lasts for 15 seconds, allowing you to do damage. If you don't one-face the boss, then it's rinse and repeat. Kill the eyes, then the Broken Knights, bank the charges and go again. The boss, by the way, has a blight attack that can knock you off the map, so try to keep your feet on the ground. Once done, make your way through the door at the back, and inside the room at the back left will be a tunnel. Follow that into the caves and take a right at the end where you will find the second hidden chest. It will be located amongst the 6 chests and it is a random spawn. Simply identify the chest that isn't glowing and open it up. After this, go ahead through the hole in the back into the next cave. Clear out all the ads and follow the cliff line outside up through the mountain. At the top will be the 5th location of the first chest. Turn around and look back for where you climbed and you will find a tunnel that leads to the next area. Here there will be a large blight in the center of the room with rotating debris that will knock you to your death if it hits you. Throughout the area will be ads, so take your time and clear them out. Just follow the path along the right side wall to the very top. Again, there will be even more ads for you to kill. Once you are within this area with the doorways inside the rock, look to your left and inside there to the left will be the 6th and last location of the first chest. Follow the cliff edges to the top of the mountain into the next part of the castle. There will be plenty of ads along the way, so take your time and clear them out one by one. In this final area, you will need to clear the ads in order for the door to open up. Inside there are stairs that lead to the top and the final encounter. You are now in the boss room. Just like before, you will need to use the Scorn Lanterns to activate the damage phase, and the more of them you activate, the more damage time you have. Start off by destroying the blight in the middle. The boss will spawn at the top of a room from where you entered. You will have a bunch of ads spawning around, such as wizards and taken scions. Also, around the boss will be 6 taken eyes. Clear out the ads around you first and destroy 5 of the eyes. To keep it simple, we always kept the top left or top right eye alive for last. The scions keep spawning so you can farm them for ammo. Also, around you will be taken pools on the ground that deal damage over time. Destroy the blight above them to get rid of them. Once the final eye is destroyed, 2 Broken Knights will spawn in, one on the left and right side. They will spawn the Scorn Lanterns, but this time among the lanterns will be invincible ads that will punch you. When they punch you, they will give you a debuff called Vengeful Corruption. This debuff lasts for 16 seconds from the moment the lanterns spawn in along with the ads. The only way to get rid of it is to punch the ads back to give the buff back to them. However, they can punch you again, giving you the debuff, so it ends up being a game of tag. You need to make sure that you do not have a buff by the time the buff timer runs out. Simply punch them and jump away as quickly as you can. However, during this time, you yet again have the Imminent Wish buff for 30 seconds. During this time, you need to get rid of the Vengeful Corruption and activate as many Scorn Lanterns as you can. Once the Imminent Wish buff is up, it's damage time. You need to deplete the portion of the boss's health bar that is white within the Naeem's Wish empowerment timer in order to progress to the next area, otherwise you will stay here and have to repeat the floor. Once the damage buff is over, rotate counterclockwise to the next area where it is rinse and repeat. Kill the ads, destroy 5 of the 6 eyes. Farm the ads for ammo and destroy the taken pools on the ground. Once you are ready, destroy the last taken eye, kill the broken knights to activate the Scorn Lanterns that they drop whilst getting rid of your Vengeful Corruption debuff within the Imminent Wish timer. Then it is damage time again, and once you remove the boss's next portion of the health bar, you rotate to the 3rd floor where you do the exact same thing. Once the 3rd floor is done, to the left are 3 large platforms. Jump to the first one and only to this one. Just like with the pyres, you will need to use one at a time. This time when you damage the boss, it will have multiple taken eyes around it, and destroying them will actually extend your damage phase timer. Once it is complete, the platform will spawn taken goo, which is your cue to jump to the next platform going counterclockwise. Damage the boss again and keep this up until all 3 platforms are used. If the boss is still alive, you will spawn back in the starting area where it is rinse and repeat all over again until you hit the boss's final stand. It doesn't matter which section you are in when you hit final stand because the boss will teleport you to the top of the castle. Launch everything you have that is left at the boss until it dies. And there you have it, that is how you complete the Warlord's Ruined Dungeon. If you have found the guide to be helpful, then please like, share and post a comment. Don't forget to subscribe for more Destiny 2 guides. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.